Buenos dias, everyone. Varel here, Flow Roofing out of Portland, Oregon. And we're just going to go through some updates here. We've got some non-roofing matters that I think are worth talking about. And first off, I'm hooked on these meta glasses to be able to click record. Okay, Grandma. Click record, take pictures. The music quality is like 8 out of 10. So the goal with these, though, and they've got some of that transition as well, is that we're going to put these on some of the guys as they're doing some roofs and gutters, and to get that content, that POV. And we're actually going to throw them on a bigger West Lynn project today, and they do 20 or 25 miters roughly, just to show everyone how it is to be a gutter guy at Flow. So there's a couple other things. So I just saw a video today on this is non-local news, I guess, but Pavones, one of my favorite surf spots down in Costa Rica, is under attack by some developers, and it's creating a pretty significant ripple. And so I'm going to try to get Charlie, one of the hostel owners, on the horn and say, dude, what the hell's going on? How can we help? Because they might be trying to privatize one of the best waves, one of my favorite waves in the world, which would be a super big bummer. Almost every year for the last 5 years, I've gone down to Costa Rica, and 3 out of those went every single time to Pavones. And it's my favorite wave in the world. And it's like one of the best parts of my winter. And to have them come in, I guess there's been some weird real estate play. They're privatizing police or something that's like taken over like these unpermitted buildings and demoing them. And so everyone's afraid that they could completely try to shut down the wave, which I can't imagine they'll get that far. There's so many locals down there that need that wave for their own like microeconomy. And then like the surfing community, if anyone's traveled around the world to surf, they know about Pavones. It's the second longest wave in the world. It's like the longest left. And that's where I took my surf skills from like a 3 out of 10 to like a 5 out of 10. And I was just, it's got to be something that we put on the radar. Now, it doesn't change anyone's immediate life in roofing at all, but it's a big part of how we flow. It's literally changed my life to have gone down there, and the stories and the people that rode that wave together. It's just changed everything. It's primarily the reason why Flow exists is Pavones. So just to have some context for how it relates to roofing. Before I started Flow, there was a trip down to Costa Rica, 2 trips actually, and the one I found out about Pavones but didn't make it, and the next one I made it, and it was your mid-20s extravaganza of a harmless country with beautiful jungle and biodiversity. And then I found out about Montepalo across the bay. Anyway, parts of Costa Rica are gems, and Pavones it should be like marked on the world's list of waves worth saving. And I feel like as a newly and late member of Surfrider Foundation, it's worth bringing up the fact that this wave is under attack and it could not be around forever. They've had this happen to different waves around the world, and they've done a good job with conservation, but they've also had other issues come up where they've also seen these waves get privatized, etc. And it can be the death of the local community and all the different things that come with that. Just people that don't have a connection with the place. And I mean, I'm starting to develop this more empathic view on the waves as I really cling on to some parts of the Oregon coast as kind of home base for what I would call like my waves. And they're not mine, but I identify closest with these beaches, and just makes me feel a lot more, even more so. I mean, been in Oregon now 28 to 29 years, and I still feel like there can be more of a connection to the place. And so fuck the developers, okay? I don't know how we're going to support it, but I know the hostel owner there at Esperanza. Charlie's been climbing mountains in South America recently, and he'll have some strong opinions about it. And he wasn't surfing the last time I was staying there, but he had talked about his neighboring house being available, and there was a dream that I could open a hostel next to his, and we could like have a pool between them, and that's the pipe dream, right? And so I got to check on Charlie. That being said, other updates. Pavones. I'm gonna have to figure a way to see what's going on, the way we can find a way to help. Okay, we're gonna keep you updated on that. It's an active issue now that's on the radar. Other considerations. Okay, so we're sponsoring the Lako Center of the Arts Festival. Bill Zimmerman, I think maybe the creator of The Simpsons is going to be the keynote speaker and artist of this year's event, and so we're super stoked. On top of being partnered with Leica, which is like the biggest stop motion studio in like the biggest name in stop motion. They've got a couple famous movies under them that I'm not into the stop motion scene. Let's take a look. 1 second. This is Leica here. And the team's coming through, so we're going to have to cut this short. There's another one, another announcement. What was it? Leica, Laika. Let's see. Their films. Oh, shit. Their films, okay. I've not seen some of these, but there's a picture of the St. John's Bridge in there. They're definitely local. So Wildwood, Missing Link, Kabu, Box Trolls, Panoraman, Caroline. I've heard of Caroline, but I've not seen any of these. Kind of makes sense though. Okay, so then what was the final update? What was that last update? Son of a gun. Delivering trailers at 4:30 this morning. Team's coming in 15. I just wanted to talk about this last update. God damn it. Maybe it'll pop up. We'll have to maybe spoon this into another one. I gotta help Nick with a couple different proposals, just refining a couple details. What else? Shit. I'm sorry. I'm blanking. We'll take you guys down to see that. There's like 500-600 feet of gutter on that house. We've got a flat roof open in Southwest. 3 other residential roofs opening up today. What else? And then it's just peak season. It was hot yesterday, so teams were slow. Some teams called it half day. It's going to taper down the rest of this week, but I mean, it was significant. I wanted to let you guys know. It'll come to me. So we'll catch it up on the next one. Quick little update, but yeah, take a look at the Pavones story. It's worth noting. Gosh darn it, it's killing me. Okay, gotta stop. Next time. Ciao. Peace. Morning, everyone. Burrell again, Flow Roofing out of Portland, Oregon, and had remembered what the announcement was yesterday that we meant to talk about, and this will be the clip onto the back end of that video if we can get Canva to work like that. And so basically, we'd gotten our Idaho license, which is for only a couple one-off projects. We're not going to be moving over there in any sort of full force. They're specialty projects for a specific client. And we have these top 10 clients that get a different type of treatment than anyone else. And it's strange. Ed Milet wrote the book Power of One More. And when a couple of these clients came in, I'd just read the book. I was like, oh shit, this is real. These books could actually be worth something. And so the 5 of those top 10 clients account for probably half or more of our total revenues. And we're not a big outfit. We're not even to 5 million or anything. A lot of people, I think, see a big brand and they go, they must be doing tens of millions or something. In storm world, it's possible, for all the paper contractors out there as well. They're just turning and burning sales. They can hit 10, 15, 20 in the retail markets. I know a guy, or I've heard of a guy in Seattle who's apparently doing over 50 million, all residential. I bought a truck off a guy in Seattle. An HVAC business had 320 trucks, and I had bought the truck personally from his fleet manager, who was just turning vehicles that had hit like 150,000 miles or something. And I was like, well, shit, I get $250,000 out of that guy, So since I've learned high miles vehicles are a liability, so we're investing in a fleet that's going to last, hopefully. So 320 trucks this guy had in his HVAC fleet, residential only, residential retail, right? I don't know if HVAC has got a storm market. I imagine it may have, but the guy was doing on average $500,000 to $750,000 plus per truck annually. And granted, that was 50 years of growth that you're seeing. So it's like, as a guy coming in there, seeing their operation, and I mean, there's crossover in the industries of the trades to how to approach your prospects, your clients, treat your clients, and create the revenues that keep people flowing. It's basically, it was inspiring. They got me a shop tour, and I was like, wow, HVAC is always going to be there, always going to be necessary. And so I asked them to keep me updated if any future trucks came up. But Seattle's a little bit far to go, but I did get the second gutter truck up there as well. And so now we have both machines in the one vehicle. It's just a lot smoother, a lot less sharing. We can use the dually for other things like logistics and heavy hauling. So with the Boise project, should be in the next month or so, we'll send teams out. It's just target repairs, basically, on a little hotel. And we'll also, we'll keep in touch. There's a GC who sent us a spec for a Forest Service building out in Montana that I'd done an inspection on last summer. I left on like a Wednesday or Thursday morning, and I wasn't back till Sunday. It was like 60 hours of driving across the country, and this was to go pick up the chute. Because I was too cheap to go and like pay the $5,000 delivery. I was like, oh, I'll go get it. You know what? It can't be more than like $1,500 in fuel. So got it, and on the way, went up above to not Yosemite, but Glacier National Park, just to run through it. Swam in some of the lakes. It was a little smoky. It's definitely fire season. It was kind of lame, but came back down after the Montana inspection, rolling through, what was it? Not the Dakotas, but eventually to get to Kansas City. And then from Kansas, I think I found like some safety cones, like use safety cones for flat roof work, at least when you're doing your perimeter safety detail. I mean, you could spend $40+ a cone, right? And so I'm like, well, shit, if I need 100 cones, it's gonna be like, $4 or $5 grand. Again, just small business owner thinking, right? I'm like, versus shit, I'm going halfway across the country. Why don't I just like search for safety cones en route? And so it sucked because we get to Kansas and like they were an extra 3 hours one way. So you'd done all this 2-3 days of driving to get your shit, and then you're like, I better go get this stuff too. So because there wasn't anything I was gonna take Denver on the way back or close to Colorado and then try to hit Yellowstone. Yellowstone was the best part of it all, but was a wild 60 hours of driving. I don't recommend it. I'd never done trucking before, but I feel like, I give credit to those guys. Like, granted, they probably wouldn't go that hard. Maybe they would. Maybe they'll talk shit on this, but like, I was definitely grateful to not be a driver after that. And keep in mind, too, my first 3 years in roofing, I think I put 60,000 plus miles a year on one of the trucks, just driving around Portland. And so I've done quite a few miles in the area. I wish I knew. I don't have like all the streets memorized and everything, but I know exactly where pretty much everything is. Just don't have, like, I don't know the suburb names. Like, there's still some like nooks of town, like what neighborhood? But anyway, yeah, just like a little short storytelling. We've got crews opening up, and we're gonna try to squeeze a couple more in because the rain's coming back next week. We got a flat roof we got to close up as well. Coating that we're going to pause. You guys might have seen the terminal project that we're looking to get things done on. Primed and prepped, at least prepped out for that one. The manufacturers aren't going to worry about primed, but we're looking at coatings coming up, and this is going to be the last little stretch of weather we can fit these things in before precipitation makes it a little less desirable. So what else? Taking Nick, one of our commercial reps, down to go get training down in San Diego. Not this weekend, but the next weekend. We'll have some good information coming back from that. Spent the money on the education. I feel like traditionally or historically, I've been cheap on education, but always thankful, and the ROI is always like 10x. And I forget that, and we're short-term minded, but this training was like $3,000, and I was just like, okay, that's $3,000. That's not going to go into marketing. Or this is that. It's not going to turn right. But the ROI of that information is going to be priceless. And so, especially, for one of my top guys, to make sure that he feels like he's getting invested into, that he's got a great future, that he has the support. And I want to make sure that his success is the top priority. Generally, his strength is relationship building which is so critical in commercial. So bring back some good information for you guys, and we'll keep you updated. We're going to push pause on this and switch topics, and we'll see you on the next one. Ciao.